Hello everyone and welcome. All of you already know my philosophy about meditation, being introspective, self-reflecting, and self-realizing to live an optimal life, to be happy, and to always be at peace. So I'm tired of lecturing about it. Instead, I would like to showcase to all of you a person who has practiced meditation to not only conquer their mental struggles, but to also attain glory. I want this individual to be a living example of what you can do if you were to also meditate, to self-reflect, to internalize your thoughts, and to really dig deep into who you are as a person. So let's get into it. So let me introduce to you this man. His name is Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is a professional mixed martial arts fighter, and he is one of the most popular fighters, and he's also one of the best fighters. And so let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of his highlights. Here's some highlights of his. This is him beating up one of the most popular UFC fighters, Conor McGregor. Knocked him out. And we can watch another one. This is another dangerous fighter. The guy in the blue is also really good, but look at Dustin. Oh.
This is the first time he's seen a fourth. Big left hand lands by Poirier. He's looking for the finish here. Gaethje hurt.
Gaethje's hurt bad, but he's been here before.
Gaethje nearly out on his feet. Poirier continues to land.
But he doesn't have the wherewithal to clinch.
Dustin Poirier.
That's why I love this sport. In this sport, you have to put your wins and losses in front of everybody. Millions of people. Millions of people know whether you're a winner or a loser. You had to face embarrassment. You had to face sacrifice. You had to face struggle. You had to face fear. You had to be a certain kind of human being to be any kind of mixed martial arts fighter, especially when you're doing it in front of so many people. So anybody that does any of these kind of things definitely has my respect. You not only have to be physically strong, but you have to be also mentally and emotionally powerful. And that's what these guys really are. Winners or losers, it doesn't matter. Both of these guys had to be so brave to get into this. Look. So Dustin is, like you've seen, a really good fighter. Just based on two highlights, you can see how good he is. Let's see. His record is he's won 30 fights, 16 of them by knockouts, 7 of them by submission. If you took 100 strangers, 1,000 strangers, and try to put them up against Dustin Poirier would be the one who comes alive. I know it. And so Dustin Poirier, like I said, has to have a specific kind of mindset, has to be a certain kind of person, and this kind of person wants glory. Like Dustin Poirier is not the average guy off the street that's just trying to fight for some cash. He wants to be the best fighter. He wants to be a UFC champion. So he's just trying to win after win after win after win. And eventually he wants a shot at the title and he wants to be the best. Because if you have the belt, then you're the best. But unfortunately, he had a rematch with Justin Gaethje, the guy that was in the blue before that he just finished beating. And in the rematch, this is what happened. Let's look.
Is a bona fide star.
Gaethje fans being heard from now. About a minute gone by round 2.
Tough. Damn, and the announcer, like, he kicked him into the stratosphere. Like, you don't gotta mention all that, bro. Look at that. We can see what happened. I was looking this up earlier, what happens if you get knocked out, because I fortunately never been knocked out. It basically says your brain moves out of place. That's the risk that these guys are willing to take for glory, for money, for fame. And it really does take a specific kind of human being to do this. Most people don't even want to confront the bully that they have to confront. But these people are willing to fight with strangers in front of millions of people. I personally never been knocked out before, but I can easily put myself in somebody else's shoes and see that if I've been knocked out, there's going to be a lot of problems that I'm personally going to face. And we're not even talking about the physical ones, like the brain moving out of place. I'm going to have so much doubt in my mind. I'm going to probably have some sadness. I'm going to have a lot of issues because I don't know what's next. If I beat somebody before and that person comes back and beats me, then how can I say I'm the best? So I'm going to have that question. Another question is, okay, I'm just constantly getting older. The guys that are coming up are just getting better. At what point do we cross roads? How long can I do this for? These are going to be all the thoughts that go across my head. I don't know what the future is. I don't know what's going to happen next. If I was an MMA fighter, a UFC fighter, just getting knocked out, wanting to be a champion, I think I would have severe mental struggles like most people do. Losing a fight is already bad enough. When you lose in front of so many people, that embarrassment it sucks enough. okay? But when you get knocked out, that's a totally different ballgame. And so a lot of people do struggle with KOs. A lot of fighters, when they get knocked out, they end up losing a lot of their fights because UFC and MMA and everything else in the world is just mostly mental. If you could get the mental part down, the physical part can be taken care of later. But if you're physically strong and you're physically all of that, but you're not mentally prepared, you have fear, you have doubt, you have concerns, then that worry, that anxiety is going to distract you from being the best. So, anyways, Dustin Poirier gets knocked out. He still wants to be the best. At the end of the day, he's still a fighter, right? He wants to be the best. So, he's still in the UFC and he is being put up against another crazy person who is a special force, ex special force person in France. We don't need to watch any of this guy's highlights, but Dustin Poirier is basically scheduled to fight this guy. Dustin Poirier is like 35 years old, and this guy's like 28 years old. So the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because I recently seen a podcast with Dustin Poirier discussing the meditation that he did to not only get over the Justin Gaethje fight, the knockout loss, but to also get ready to fight this special forces 28-year-old that he has to take on. So let's listen to what Dustin Poirier had to say.
That you practice mindfulness. Does that mean like meditation and stuff like that? Or is that just like what you're talking about here?
No, meditation as well. This camp, like most days, I did a 30-minute or 20-minute walk every morning before breakfast.
Huh.
Just to clear my mind, set my intentions for the day, be appreciative for freaking breathing air, you know, like I don't know, maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm being an old man. I don't know. I'm just trying to like experience things in a different way because I'm so blessed, you know, just to be in this mindset. You know, I don't know. It's tough. I don't want to keep harping on it or sound weird.
I love it.
You know, so, but I'm just like, maybe I am getting older. I don't know. I just like really grateful for the experience of life.
I just think it's crazy that he thinks it's so weird to talk about how grateful he is. Like, is that the world that we live in today? I really don't know. He's basically saying that he's meditated for 20 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, trying to reflect on his life, trying to set his intentions, and trying to become more grateful. A lot of people get confused and they think that meditation has to be this thing where you go sit in the mountain somewhere. No. Meditation is just awareness. Just being aware of who you are, where you are, how you're feeling, and all that. And that's exactly what he's doing, right? He's saying that he's trying to be aware of the day, be more grateful for the day, experience life in a new vision, see life in a different way. And he's also saying that he is trying to set his intention. So he's setting his awareness. Okay, this is what I want. This is how I'll do it. That's all meditation really is. Meditation is spending time with yourself, pausing from the external world, all these distractions. There's so many distractions, your phone, your social media. He said he goes for a walk. That's perfect. You can do it in your room too. Put away the distractions and just think about yourself for a second, and not in yourself in the way of an egotistical person. Think of yourself in the sense of being the owner of your life. How do you feel? How are you thinking? How can you improve? What are some things that are bothering you? These kind of internal dialogues are what really set you apart from the average NPC who is just going about being reactive to everything in the world. When you can meditate, you can become responsive. And when you can become responsive, when you can become awake, like he said, you could become more grateful of life. So let's see what else he says.
Providing for my family, like every day, you know, wake up, walk 30 minutes in my own thoughts, get away from electronics, and just, yeah, give gratitude, you know, because what a journey, man.
Who sort of opened your eyes to doing that, to that being, you know, beneficial to you?
After the Gaethje fight, man, I went through some real, the world doesn't know, or people don't know, people are close to me know, I went through some real mental struggles, man. Like I was going through some stuff. And that's really when I started really practicing mindfulness and setting my intentions.
So I don't know if he has another video of him talking about the things that he just said that like, a lot of people don't know. So I don't think he does. But he just said that he was in a deep, dark place with mental struggles after that Gaethje loss. Probably related to a lot of the stuff that I was saying, because you start questioning yourself. Life is just so unpredictable. And when you really associate yourself with the character that you're playing, and you don't know what the next script is, it could cause so many problems for you because you don't know where to go and you don't know what direction life will take you in. And so I think that's what he's referring to. Regardless, he's saying that yeah, he had some struggles and meditation actually helped him. So let's see what else he has to say.
And just trying to be grateful for every day.
How bad did it get?
Really bad. Really bad.
To like worse than it's ever been?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And how did you get out of that?
By doing these things.
Did someone help you, or did you figure it out on your own?
A lot of people helped me.
Okay.
My friends, my business partners here in Louisiana, but my wife really, dude, I'm just very thankful for her.
Did it get to the point where like
This is why it's important to have a good relationship partner, somebody that really loves you, somebody that's not just in it for what can you offer me, but somebody who's with it and in it because it's a we thing, not a me thing.
If I was in her position, I don't know if I could take the stuff she's taken. You know, I would like to think I can, but I'm just grateful to have somebody like that.
like the stuff she's seen you have to go through?
Yeah, and the things I put her through, going through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your bond is incredible, and obviously you've known each other since you were kids. Was it to the point where you thought you might not fight again?
Yeah.
Or worse than that?
A couple times. Yeah, worse, man.
Shit, man. And do you feel like that's like, how do you not, because like the next one might not go your way. How do you make sure that never happens again?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Is that scary?
Yeah, it is. It's very scary.
Did you talk to a therapist?
I try to like, yeah. I try to like to look at things a little bit different. Fighting is just something I do. That kind of mindset, because fighting was everything to me. It was my whole life. Like, I judged who I was by fighting. It was a person I am. If I'm not the fighter, Dustin, the fighter, who am I? And I just kind of like tried to take a step back from that after the Gaethje loss, when I was going through all this shit, and like, it's just something I do. Fighting is part of my life. It's been a vehicle to get me and my family where I need to be, to set up the foundation and help people. Like, it's been a vehicle to get things in the right place, but this is just something I do. I can't. Life goes on,
Exactly. Exactly. I think that right there is what really helped him become the new Dustin and really help him move forward. He just said something very important. He said that he used to attach his identity with his profession. So he was a mixed martial art fighter. If he wasn't a fighter, what is he? Right? If he is not a winner, if he's not a champion, what is he? Everybody that has an ego has this issue. If you're a doctor, you think you're a doctor. If you're a student, you think you're a student. But if you can remember your true identity through meditation, that we are all just the spirit soul, just encapsulated into this body, and we're all just playing a character. And our job is to play this character to the best of our abilities, just be a witness, control our mind, control our emotions, and just witness. You will see life as an experience instead of challenge. This life is temporary, but you're immortal, and this is just the character that you're playing. He's saying that he thought he was this UFC fighter and all of this. Because he thought he was this UFC fighter, he's just taking everything so seriously, so personal. But when you remember that I'm the spirit soul, I'm right now playing this very popular fighter, this fighter that everybody loves. I'm playing this guy named Dustin Poirier. Everybody loves me. I'm popular. I'm at the top. I'm going to go out there and try my best. If I win, thank God. If I lose, it's up to God. I'm still complete. I'm still whole. This is just all an experience. You can go 100% into any situation with no fear and all confidence and no regret. Regardless of what happens, you'll have no regret. He said that it seems like to me that he was suffering a lot from regret from his last fight, because he lost, for one. He doesn't know what's going to happen next. There's that unknownness factor. But when you remember that I'm a spirit soul, dude, God has all of this under control. I'm just playing this character. Let me try my best. Let me control my emotions. Let me try to be the best version of myself possible. Let me try to accumulate good karma so the things that happen to me are favorable in my opinion. But at the end of the day, this is all just a movie. This is just all short temporary scene. I'm lucky to be able to play this character. I'm going to do my best and live my happiest life. And I'm not going to have any regrets. I'm not going to have any pain. I'm not going to have any losses. This life is going to be nothing but bliss and nirvana. And I think he's slowly getting there. He's slowly waking up, because he already said it. He already identified himself and said that I'm not this fighter. He's fighting. That's his profession, but he is not this fighter. You are something much bigger than that. We are all something much bigger than that. Don't forget, you might be struggling now. You might not be getting the things that you want now. You might not be in the place that you want now. But just remember that this is just a movie. If you don't like where you are, you could always change. You have freedom. You are the director. You get to choose. But don't ever feel helpless. Don't ever feel hopeless. Don't ever feel sad. Because At the end of this, when this whole movie's done and you go back to your spiritual life and you get to watch this all on TV again, you're gonna feel silly for being sad about the things that you should have been happy about. You could have been like, damn, I got a chance to experience this. But right now you're feeling sad that you lost it. You know what I mean? Like for him, for example, he's upset that he lost. And it's making him feel really sad and it's making him feel really depressed. He doesn't know who he is anymore. But when he watches his life back on the big screen, when he's back in the spiritual planet, he's gonna be like, God damn it, I could have been more happy. I could have been more excited. This was so exciting for me to even have this chance. Why was I down for like those 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months? I could have used that time to do something else. This is just a temporary movie, guys. Don't take it too seriously. Enjoy life. Play your character, play your role to the best of your ability. Try your best and leave the rest to God. Let's see what else he has
I feel like I'm kind of dancing around it, but like, was it to the point where you were like worried about your own well-being?
Yeah, big time.
Oh man, and do you feel like you're out of that?
So he's saying before meditation, he was worried about his own well-being. But through internal dialogue, through self-reflection, through finding himself, he was able to make a comeback and get ready for another fight in the UFC. How incredible is that?
Right now, I am for sure.
Yeah.
The last two and a half months, I've been out of that darkness.
Okay. Have you talked to other fighters who have gone through this?
Good.
No, but like whenever I saw Volk, talking and maybe kind of express himself and being honest, I was like, you know what, that's just we're going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And who did you speak to? Like you said, a therapist. Was like a fight therapist?
No, not a fight therapist. I started actually doing therapy after the fight.
Okay. And is that something you're going to continue doing?
Maybe not as frequently, but yeah, I think it's important to like open up and talk about how you feel. We're such in the spotlight of being tough guys all the time and stuff, but we're people too. Like that's the part of the mindset. Like Dustin the fighter, but what about Dustin? What about me?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why having a therapist, having somebody to speak to, doesn't even need to be a professional therapist. Could be a friend, could be yourself through meditation, through conversations, through dialogue, whether it's with yourself or with somebody else, really opening up, really figuring out how you feel, how you think, how you behave in certain situations, how certain things make you feel, what certain things are keeping you from being happy. You can conquer and get over anything. So I'm really happy that he is talking to somebody,
Like, dude, life is deep, man.
Yeah.
And finding it something I do. So it's good to tap in with yourself, and check in on yourself and be good to yourself, like my boy Theo says.
I hope you never go through that again and you're able to just enjoy great times with your family because you're a blessed man.
Blessed by the Most High, for sure I am, man. I'm very, very appreciative of the journey and experiences of life, man. When you step back, like everybody listening, try that. Take a day out, or you step back from being in the spotlight, being in the moment. Like step back and just take a deep breath and like, wow, we're fortunate we get to live this life and appreciate things and experience things, the hurt, the bad, the good. It's incredible, man, when you look at it that way.
Life is a beautiful movie, guys. It has everything you can imagine. There's thrillers, there's romance, there's sometimes, unfortunately, crime. There's all sorts of stuff that happens. Romance, comedy, all that. This life is a crazy journey, and we're so lucky to be able to experience it. We're so lucky that our hearts beat on their own. We're so lucky that our organs function on their own. God takes care of all of us, and this is just a scene in the movie. And life is beautiful. And when you look at life in the true, under the true light, like this is really temporary. And what happens next, I don't know. But today is in my hands. Today is in my control. Let me make the most of today. You can really see life as the beautiful script it is, because if you can bring yourself to a really, really present moment, you will just see like not even a blade of grass moves without the will of God. And if God is taking care of you, and if God has your back, which he for sure does, if you're breathing right now, God for sure has your back, then what worry is there? Just enjoy the scene, because one day all of this is going to be over, the movie's going to cut, and you're going to be sad that you couldn't have a couple extra scenes. So I'm really happy that this guy is doing much better. This was him after the Justin Gaethje fight. He practiced meditation. He did all these things. And as a result of all that meditation, this is what happened to him in the fight. This is the guy that he had to fight. This is the special forces guy. Look at that.
And now he lands up top. Guillotine again, though. He's going for it
Boom.
again.
Boom. That's it. That's it. That's it. Think about that. Came off a KO loss, was at the top of the ladder, was facing a 28-year-old special arms forces person, was a severe underdog. Nobody thought he could do it. Second round, fights this guy, knocks him out. Done. That's the power of meditation. Meditation can take you out of the darkest places and it can make you reach glory. It can bring you to a place that you have never been before, because in order to meditate, you have to become a person that you haven't been before. And who is that person? It is the person that you truly are. No ego, just spirit. Dissolve your ego, wake your conscious, and become spiritual. You'll see this life as a movie and everything will be great. Dustin Poirier had to be truthful and honest with himself, dig into himself, really figure out the ways that he could improve, really figure out how he feels, really figure out his mind, his emotions, and he had to conquer those things so that he could conquer this guy in the octagon. So let this be evidence to all of you. Doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. You could be a plumber, you could be a student, you could be a UFC fighter, you could be a teacher. It doesn't matter. If you practice meditation, if you practice thoughtfulness, introspection, if you spend time thinking about your intentions and really manifesting them into life and then putting your actions behind your thoughts, you can conquer life and you could be the king or the queen of your destiny. Life and the world around you will bend at your will if you can change your frequencies. If you can start dissolving your ego, awaken your consciousness, understand your mind, and control your thoughts, you'll be like a flower and life will be like bees. Everything will come to you. And that is exactly what happened with Dustin Poirier. I just want this to be a message and inspiration to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. Life is beautiful and life will keep having surprises for you. And today might not be a good day, but tomorrow can be. So always look forward, always keep your head up high. Remember that your responsibility to yourself is to always be at happiness and peace. And if you don't feel that way, then it is in your best interest to throw away everything, put everything away off to the side, whether it's your job, whether it's your school, whether it's your relationship problems, whatever it is, and focus on yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing? How am I feeling? What are my thoughts? What's stopping me from getting to the places that I want to be? And if you do these things, you can be like Dustin Poirier. You can become a success. You can become the most successful version of your life. You could have confidence. You could eradicate fear. You could become the master of your own world. And I don't know if Dustin will ever watch this video, but if you do, Dustin, always remember, my friend, that you are much bigger than just a UFC fighter. It doesn't matter what religion you follow, what culture you follow, we're all the same. We are all spiritual beings, just currently encapsulated into this physical form. You are currently in the physical form of an elite specimen, one of the greatest UFC fighters, one of the greatest MMA fighters of our history. Wins and losses are all part of your script in life, but how you handle them is up to you. Your mind and your emotions are under your control. If you could always remember that the Dustin Poirier part of your life is this big, but your actual life is infinite, you can experience every part of life and nothing can bring you down. No losses or no setbacks. You can always be at peace and you can always be at nirvana. It seems like you're already going down that path. I support you and I encourage you to keep going down this path. Keep listening to that small voice in your head that's guiding you towards the light. And soon you could be in a blissful situation no matter what. You can be a champion in your life regardless of what belts you have or you don't have, because you're already a champion. So on the same podcast, there's another man that I'd like to talk about named Sean O'Malley, who is currently the UFC champion. And I have reasons to believe that Sean O'Malley has opened his third eye. But I'm going to save this video for the next time. If you enjoyed this video on how Dustin Poirier utilized meditation to get out of a dark place and attain glory just as you can, then please make sure to like and subscribe so I can continue making these videos. I'll see you all next time.